Hello again everyone and welcome back to Baldur's Gate. We are back here now and obviously we did make it to Beregost in the last episode, so we're going to actually go and start exploring Beregost. I've completely forgotten the directions that Golin Vend here gave us, so let's just try and work our own way around, shall we?
Yes.
We'll just take everyone with us
I'll do
for
it.
now, because why not? We'll just try and work it out as we go, kind of thing. We'll just enter every building we see and see what happens. I think is probably the best way to go. We'll maybe go left first thing. Just kind of comb left to right. Seems like a very standard way of doing things. I guess I could have a peek over here, see what's going on first.
I've no time for to talk to you now.
I'm not going near the places the dead walk, leastwise not since my uncle was possessed. He came out of a dungeon slavering mad, and the cleric in his group had not the experience to dispel the evil from his mind. It was a prayer to hold him still that freed him, but he'll not go near another ruin. Fair enough. So, graveyards and tombs and stuff, good chance you're going to go insane. It makes sense. Apologies, I'm a little bit nasally, by the way. I do have a little bit of cold, but you know, it's not too bad. We can make do. And so Jahira and Montara are still a little bit battered, but hopefully we shouldn't come into any, well, too much danger anyway. We could probably sleep again as well in while we're in Beregost, if we so wanted to. What's the map saying? We don't have any real map icons. We'll quick save again, and we'll try and go in this building. So there's just a boy in here, which is a little bit concerning.
Agreed.
Mother said not to talk with strangers.
Ah, you scared me. I wasn't taking anything, honest. I was just checking out the house, that's all. Someone's got to watch over the place, because I'm sure they will come back. The Grey Cats only went to Baldur's Gate to visit, and they should be back already. I'm going to wait right here till they do. The Grey Cats?
Your command?
Who per se are the Grey Cats?
Speak.
I do wonder.
A simple task.
Can I steal from this house? A quick save again.
You're a clear
try and get.
fellow.
Oh, one thing I completely forgot what was meant to do. Gameplay. Oh dear me, should I have done this in the other? Is this only option only available in the main menu? I just wanted to see if I could. Want to see if I could show the feedback. Visual feedback. Is it to hit rolls? Maybe.
Quickly, now.
What you want?
See if that works.
I've
Try and
done had enough of
lockpick that
this.
chest with him in. There was no roll there. Take the gold. Try not to get arrested in the process. Yeah, maybe it's only available from. Weird. Am I just missing? I'm sorry for the delay here, guys, but I'm just quite curious. Actions? Yeah, I was just looking for the thing to actually show the rolls to like unlock things. Maybe it's only available in the main menu. I'm not too sure. I think that I'm just really missing it. I would have thought it would have been under the gameplay section, but it's I definitely cannot see it anywhere, which is a little bit weird. But hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. We'll move on. We've got a bit of gold out of that anyway, so
You have my
I'm
intent very well.
not mad. Let's go upstairs.
If you insist.
What is in here? Should really have had Immo in this just in case there's any like traps or anything. And of course a locked chest
Yep.
as well. Let's
This way.
let's bring Immo in upstairs.
This way.
We can go loot this. Once again, obviously, I'll do it quite a few times, but there's a good chance this won't work. No, that is not going to work. That's fine. Yeah, apologies. I'm probably missing the
I've done had enough of this.
That's what I'm looking for. Are we missing someone? Yeah, someone's still inside.
Can I help you?
Oh, wait,
Are they?
Your voice is
Yes,
Is it me?
Yes.
It's me. What?
I hear you.
God's sake, Craig, it's you idiots.
If you insist.
Leave the house.
What?
Right.
I'll do it.
As we were. Commoner. Good day, madam.
Hello, mate. You
Hello.
got a friendly face.
Hello, mate. Filthy mercenaries, they won't get away with their raiding. Duke Elton will send the Flaming Fist, and that'll be that. Nobody with any sense wants to risk fighting with the Flaming Fist. They mean business, they do. You get an enforcer on you, and best you run like the Dickens. Best you run like the Dickens. Quick save again. Go in this house here. Hello, sir.
Your command? Easily done.
Hey, friend. Good to meet a fine sod such as yourself.
Fine sod. Where did Basilisk come from? No one's sure, but I heard he may have lived at Zenzel Keep before it was destroyed. I thought everyone died when it crumbled. I cursed the fates that he lived through it. So Basilisk obviously seems to be a bit of a character. Sounds like it. Check out these things for loot. I mean, don't get me wrong, we absolutely should not be stealing from people's houses, but you know what? As long as we don't get caught, it's fine.
Loser.
Mom, someone's in the house, so you're gonna get it if you don't leave. Daddy might come home and give you such a whooping. I'm doing nothing wrong, I swear. I'm completely innocent. Honestly, I'm telling you, nothing wrong in the slightest. Nothing wrong at all. History of the North 2. Let's have a little read of this, shall we? There we go. Humans immigrated in bands from the Shining Sea and up the Sword Coast. They became seafarers, striking out across the waves to the Moonshades, Mintan, Ruthim, and the Northern Islands. Elves engaged in an unceasing war against each other, with the humans and the orcs taking over the resulting ruins. Perhaps the greatest calamity to befall the fair folk was the Dark Disaster, a killing magic that took the form of a dark, burning cloud. It enshrouded the kingdom of Myeritar, and when it faded away some months later, not an elf lived, nor were trees left, only an open, blasted moor, the High Moor. All was not dark for the elves. Although in retreat, as barbarian humans and orc hordes grew in strength, their power rose in the Elven Court, and Evereska remaining a stronghold to this day. They conceived of cooperation between dwarves, kindly humans, and other elves for mutual survival against orcs, marauding humans, and the tide of beasts, ogres, bugbears, trolls, goblins, gnolls, and other non-human creatures, led by the rising power of giants. Astonishingly, in at least 3 places, the fallen kingdoms and the cities of Silvery Moon and Mythdrana, they succeeded with shining grace. To the east, on the sandy shores of the calm and shining narrow sea, human fishing villages grew into small towns, and then joined together as the nation of Netheril. Sages believe the fishing towns were unified by a powerful human wizard who had discovered a book of great magic power that survived from the days of thunder, a book that legend calls the Nether Scrolls. Under this nameless wizard and those who followed, Netheril rose in power and glory, becoming both the first human land of the north and the most powerful. Some say this discovery marked the birth of human wizardry, since before then mankind had only shamans and witch doctors. For over 3,000 years, Netheril dominated the north, but even its legendary wizards weren't able to stop their final doom. Every empire meets its end. That is just the truth, in my opinion. 3 gold, we'll take that. Nothing in that one. See if we can safely lockpick this. Probably not, let's be honest. I don't know why we decided to hide in the shadows there, but you know, yeah, this isn't working. No dramas. Really do need to find out how to display the rolls. If that's the case, actually, I don't want the ones on bits of hit rolls. Yeah, I'd rather have those turned off. There we go. Right. So nothing upstairs of any real note apart from that book.
I've done had enough of this.
Speak.
So we'll
I'll
all
do
take our leave from here.
I'll do it.
Just
Hello,
coming the same.
mate. You look a friendly face.
Built-in nurseries, of course. Nothing in there. Is that a build? Oh god, you can actually go in these buildings as well. Oh well, let's go in here, shall we? There's a lot of just random houses here, isn't there?
Yep. This way.
Nothing particularly noteworthy in here, apart from this barrel, which has coins in. Honestly, I'll take all the money I can get. I feel like I'm gonna need money.
I've done had enough of this.
It's a virtually identical layout to the last house. History of the North 5. Okay. The adaptable humans made use of magic they could seize or learn from the proud peoples to defeat all enemies. Breaking for a time, the power of no giants and orcs, Waterdeep was founded. Ah, yes. Gale's hometown. The last of the pure-blood elves died out as a result of continued marriages with humans. Ah, yeah, I remember that being a point of contention in a lot of games. That were based around elves and whatnot, pure-blood elves. In the far west, men also dwelled, wise, clever primitives called the Ice Hunters. They lived simple lives on the coast since time beyond reckoning, countless generations before Netherrealm's first founders set foot on the narrow sea's western shore. Yet this peaceful folk fell prey to another invasion from the south, crude longships that carried a tall, fair-haired, warlike race, who displaced the Ice Hunters from their ancestral land. Sounds like the Vikings. This race, known as the Northmen, yep, makes sense, spread farms and villages along the coast from the banks of the winding water to the gorges of the Mirror. Northmen warriors drove the simple Ice Hunters farther and farther north, forced the Goblin Kin back into their mountain haunts, and instigated the last council of Ilafan. Within 500 years of the Northmen's arrival, Ilafan was no more. Its residents had migrated to Evermeet. From the coast, Northmen sailed westward, claiming and establishing colonies on the major western islands of Ruthim and Gundalun, eventually spreading to all the islands of the Northern Sea. Others migrated northward past the spine of the world and became the truly savage barbarians of Icewind Dale. I know that game! I know Icewind Dale. In the centuries that followed, Askelhorn became Hellgate Keep when it fell into the hands of fiends, and Erlan collapsed under the attack of a new orc horde. The elves fled southeast, joining with the Northmen, Netherese descendants, and dwarves to form what would later be known as the Fallen Kingdom. This realm was short-lived and collapsed under the next orcish invasion, though in dying it dealt the goblin races a blow from which they have yet to recover. Hell of a history in this place. Hell of a history in this place. Right, let's try and... yeah, get some gold out of there. More monies for us. One of these was locked, wasn't it? I feel like we can probably get this open. Based on the size of it, but I could be wrong. I think I am wrong, you know. Yep, evidently I think I have severely misjudged this this little bedside table. It is made of sturdier stuff than I ever would have imagined. No dramas. We'll leave this house as well.
Quickly, now, if you insist.
On to the next
Agreed.
one. We're once again missing someone.
You're this way.
Also, anyone, please stop calling me a
You
queer
have
fellow. Thank
easily
you.
done.
Please, thank you. This is different.
Yes, a simple task.
What do we got here? More gold. And there. Not a lot in here either. Should we be getting rid of these books? Because like I don't know how much use we're gonna get out of them, and they do take space in our inventory.
I'll do it.
If we can find like a stash to store our things from anywhere, we'll probably
A
do
simple
that.
task.
This looks like a town square sort of thing, so we'll be on our guard here, I think. That's locked.
What you want?
So again, we'll be on our guard when we try and lockpick this. That worked.
Your command? I hear you.
commoner.
I'll do it.
Don't know how happy
Yeah?
she's gonna be. Oh, you startled me. I'm not used to strangers because travelling is so dangerous now. Please don't linger too long here. The children are leery of anyone they don't know, and it's hard enough keeping them calm when there is just me around. If only my husband hadn't gone to work the mines at Nashkel. Nashkel, Nashkel, Nashkel.
Speak, if you insist.
What can I pinch? Anything here? Nope. Right, once again,
Yep.
we'll quick save.
I'm gone.
See if anyone can get any joy out of this chest. Don't mind me, madam. We will be out of your hair eventually. Imagine how you'd feel like you're just chilling there in your own house and fucking this group of adventurers just barges in.
Quickly, I hear you.
It's a very weird group
A simple task.
as well, it has to be said. Very strange. Right, do you want to go south or do you want to go... let's via east, shall we? Speak to this dude.
Yes?
The world is falling apart around us, and here before me lie a band of grovelling adventurers preying on my every word to hear rumours of the latest dungeon fad. Dungeons? You're pathetic. Okay, I'll rattle it off for you like I did for the last adventure and the one before that. I have no doubt you'll share their fate. Let's see, there are the ruins of an old mage school to the southeast, traps, dead things that tried to kill you, you know the shtick. Then there's the Firewine Bridge, ghosts, winding narrow passageways, some poetry, blah blah blah. Honestly, I can't think of a life more tedious than that of an adventurer. Personally, I get far more out of wandering around aimlessly and scratching my ass like this. You know what? I almost respect it.
Yes?
I hear there's Zentarians who have been spotted about lately. I bet them riffraff are up to no good. Can't trust a single one of them, you can't. They'll step over their own mother just for the sake of doing it. Okay. Oh, this is a big build. This is a big,
You have easily done.
big house, isn't it? Who owns this? Any books? History of the Moonsea. The Moonsea has a long history as the border between the elven lands to the south and the darker, more sinister lands of the Ride and Thar, home of dragons and giant ogre tribes in great multitudes. The deep sea was an excellent barrier to the raiders, as those tribes who saw invasion had to detour around and through the lands that would eventually hold Ulash, Gentle Keep, and Hillsfar. The first true settlement in Moonsea was North Keep, a shining citadel established as a beacon of civilization and a jumping-off point for merchants seeking trade with the dwarves of the north, including not only Tethyamar but the clans of the Cordlands, who traded their metalwork and craft for much-needed magic. In the end, North Keep was sunk beneath the icy waters of the Moonsea by the inhuman forces, and humankind suffered one of many setbacks in the region. So has been the nature of human habitation of this region since the beginning. Human settlements thrive for a few years, usually through sheer willpower and on the strength of a sharp sword, and then are overrun by goblins, orcs, dragons, beholders, or giants. Plan has fallen and risen again. Ulash is a ruin where a decade ago there was a thriving town. Holberg and Sulasprin are empty hulks. Each of the cities in the Moonsea seems threatened with extinction in its turn, then is rebuilt. This cycle may be the reason that only the strongest and the most savage survive, even prosper in the lands of the Moonsea. The greater cities, Hillsfar, Mulmaster, and the impenetrable Zenzel Keep, are all ruled by evil people who control their land with iron grips. The lesser cities, Elventree, Flan, and Thentia, may be less evil, but of strong, independent, almost chaotic nature. In many ways, the Moonsea is a frontier with a frontier mentality. Let's not be in any rush to go over there, then. That seems a bit it seems a little bit too chaotic for me. So is there another book over here? Or, there is, History of the North 1. So this is the very first one, the very first History of the North, which I don't think we have yet. We've got 1, 2. Yeah, we've only got 1 and 2. Right, what's the first one saying then? If we win. Yeah. For millennia, gold elves dwelt in Ilafan, where Waterdeep now stands, and Airland along the River Shining. From their ornate forest cities, they traded with emerging human nations like Netheril and Ilusk and repulsed the attacks of the goblin races. Meanwhile, dwarven clans united as the nation of Delzun, named for the dwarf who forged the Union. The nation, existing primarily underground, extended from the Ice Mountains to the Nether Mountains. Silver Moon Pass was its western border, and the Narrow Sea its eastern shore. Orcs came from north of the spine of the world, but were turned back in great slaughter by the elves. This is the homeland and stronghold for orcs and similar races.
Yes, I hear you.
And that is the North's origin story.
You're a queer fellow.
Stop calling me a queer fellow. Jesus Christ, everyone. Stop. You're meant to be my childhood friend, and yet you insist you insist on calling me a queer fellow.
What?
I
I hear you.
feel almost offended. Anyone upstairs? No.
Very well.
There is no
Your
one up here
command?
either.
What you want? I've done had enough of this.
Whoever owns this place really likes their books. There's a lot of them around. And they also have really good locks on their cabinets and whatnot as well, unfortunately, which is not ideal for us. Another book, History of the North 4. Do we have 4? 1, 4, 5. No, you don't. Wow. Or do we? No, we don't. We are doing well here in collecting this, making this collection. This era left behind elven strongholds ripe for pillaging by humans and orcs. When elves chose to leave the north and travel to Evermeet, their works quickly disappeared, leaving only places like the Old Road and a ruined port in the high forest to mark Erland's passing. And yet, it was not only the elves who would disappear from their long-held homes, the human nation of Netheril also stood on the brink of history. Doom for Netheril came in the form of a desert, devouring the narrow sea and spreading to fill its banks with dry dust and blowing sand. Legend states that when the great wizards of Netheril realized their land was lost, they abandoned it and their countrymen, fleeing to all corners of the world and taking the secret to wizardry with them. More likely, this was a slow migration that began 3,000 years ago and reached its conclusion 1,500 years later. Whatever the truth, wizards no longer dwelled in Netheril. To the north, the once majestic dwarven stronghold of Delzoun fell upon hard days. Then the orcs struck. Orcs have always been foes in the north, surging out of their holes every few tens of generations, when their normal haunts can no longer support their burgeoning numbers. This time, they charged out of their caverns in the spine of the world, poured out of abandoned mines in the Grey Peaks, screamed out of lost dwarfholds in the Ice Mountains, raged forth from crypt complexes in the Nether Mountains, and stormed upward from the bowels of the High Moon Mountains. Never before or since has there been such an outpouring of orcs. Delzoun crumbled before this onslaught and was driven in on itself. Netheril, without his wizards, was wiped from the face of history. The Erlan elves alone withstood the onslaught, and with the aid of the Treants of Turlang and other unnamed allies, suspicious, were able to stay above the final days of their land for yet a few centuries more. In the east, Erlan built the fortress of Askelhorn and turned it over to refugees from Netheril, as Netherese followers built the town of Kars in the high forest. The fleeing Netherese founded Lork and Loudwater. Others wandered the mountains, hills, and moors north and west of the high forest, becoming ancestors of the Uthgard and founders of Silverymoon, Everlund, and Sunderbar. So many place names. I'm never going to remember them all.
If you insist.
But we'll certainly try. Right. So yeah, let's
If you insist.
check out this northern area here. And the commoner looks like it.
Something on your mind?
Rumor tells of a magical gate in the bottom of the school ruins, but no one knows where it leads. Anyway, it's better than that accursed place, if you ask me. Okay, sounds a little bit suspicious. Let's check these bits of any little goodies before we move on. Gold, always nice to see gold. Is this a schoolhouse? I don't know. If it is, it's locked.
Something on your mind?
That Oldcastle School was a storehouse of knowledge and magic, but them that haunt the place are no better for it. Being dead longer than you were alive must tend to addle the mind. This place is potentially haunted, so we'll whack a quick save, assuming this is the schoolhouse. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe I've severely misjudged the
Quickly,
situation.
now.
Yep, this way.
This doesn't look like a cursed schoolhouse. But honestly, you never know. You really don't. Try a few lockpicks. Ooh, there is actually a person here. Can I talk to you?
Hello, mate.
Ah, by what right are you in my house? I'm sorry for intruding, but I was just wondering what you were doing. What am I doing? Be no concern of yours. Leave at once, lest I call the guards. You know what? Fair enough. I think she probably does have a point.
I've done had enough of this.
Like, I mean, if someone just walked into my house now and came up to me and started asking what I was doing, I'd probably not be too keen on interacting with them. I'd be very much like, That's got nothing to do with you. Please leave. Yeah, I don't think we're going to get any more look out of this
You have
place.
my intent.
So
I'll do
we
it.
should probably take our
Very
leave.
well.
Just to be on the safe side.
Something on your mind?
Destruction will cast the school. Okay, so it sounds like the school is in ruins. We'll try and get into that door there if we can.
I'm gone.
There doesn't seem to be an
Yes,
abundance
a
of
simple
guards
task.
in this place, by the way. Like, I've seen a lot of commoners, but not a whole
I'll
lot
do
of
it.
us. What's this guy saying?
getting prickly on my eyes.
Burglars, explain myself. Lest the guards loose you from your life. No, it's called the guards. I just had a desire to see this farmhouse from within. I don't know whether you're a fool or a liar, but it's best for thee that I cannot decide. You have a chance to leave before I call the watchman. Best that you make your next move a wise one.
What? If you insist.
I can understand his history of the chosen of Mistra. Mistra, God, that's Gale's not wife. The reason why Mistra, the goddess of magic, invested a portion of her divine might in mortals is not known. One of the more popular theories, and one that is gaining more support in the light of the goddess's other actions during that period, is that Mistra foresaw the time of troubles and her own passing at the hands of Helm, and chose to give some of her power to mortals in order to ensure that her successor, the female mage Midnight, as it turned out, would have a number of nearly immortal allies in the struggle against the schemes of the gods, the now dead Bane, Merkel, and Baal, the dead three, who precipitated the time of troubles by stealing the tablets of fate. The theory goes on to suggest that Mistra informed Azoth at approximately the year of the rising flame, 0 DR, more than 1300 years before the time of troubles, that some of her power must be put into the hands of mortals, who would then become known as Mistra's Chosen. This power would sleep within the bodies of those mortals, allowing Mistra to call on it only with their permission. It would give the Chosen the innate ability to heal quickly, and would give them lifespans far greater than those of ordinary mortals. Mistra speculated that these mortals might be able to call on her power, and thereby gain some special abilities, but that these powers would not rival those of a deity. See powers below. The goddess of all magic then began to select mortals she thought to be suitable. One of the first was the young mage Elminster, of course, and she also singled out a promising wizard named Kelvin Aronson. Both have proved to be worthy and capable receptacles of her power, but Mistra's other early attempts to invest her power in living humans were unsuccessful, and she came to realise that only very few mortals were of stern enough substance to contain such power within themselves without being destroyed or corrupted. Even though some people aside from Elminster and Kelburn may have possessed the requisite strength, it is possible that having lived for years prior to being visited by Mistra had set them on a path from which they were not able to deviate. Whatever the reason, the problem needs to be solved. To get around the difficulty, Mistra devised the plan to use herself as a vessel to breed individuals who could be nurtured and acclimated to her power from the very beginning of their lives. For the father of these individuals, she picked the best example of human stock she could find, Dornell Silverhand, a nobleman and a former harper who lived near Neverwinter. Mistra then possessed the body of Elu Shundar, a half-elven sorceress whom Dornell was already attracted to. Mistra revealed her presence and her plan to Elu, who happily and eagerly agreed to have the goddess share her body. Elu had been reluctant, but under the influence of Mistra, the woman became a seductress, and Dornell found his advances being suddenly returned with great fervour. Dornell and Mistra/Elu were wed in the year of the Drifting Stars, 760 DR. The first of the 7 daughters, Anastra Saloon, was born the following winter. Saloon's 6 sisters emerged at 1-year intervals thereafter. Endualistriel, Ambaradov, Athena Stormer, she prefers the shortened Storm these days, Ananu Leral, Alastra Shentranta, known today as the Symbol, and Erese Kilu. These siblings have become known in Realmsian lore as the 7 Sisters. Dornall, who had been kept in the dark about his wife's true nature through the years, presumably because Mistra didn't want to risk losing his services, was disappointed and nearly distraught by the time his 6th child was born. He had always wanted sons as well as daughters. More importantly, he was seeing his wife deteriorate right before his eyes. The strain of coexisting with the goddess all these years had turned Elu into a withered shell, in essence a lich, clinging to life only because Mistra's power was within her. When Elu was carrying the 7th child, Dornall consulted a priest who told him his wife had been possessed by an entity of great magical power. To spare both of them any further agony, he attempted to slay his wife's physical form by severing her head from her body. As soon as he had done this, Mistra was forced to reveal herself to him, and she went on to explain her scheme. Just as she had worried would happen, Dornall was aghast at how he and his wife had been used by the goddess. He turned his back on the corpse of his wife, abandoned his lands and his children, and vanished into the north. Mystra bore him no ill will, and in fact protected him for the final 30 years of his life. When Darnell finally did meet his end, he called out to Mystra, and the goddess granted him continued existence as her servant. Now known as the Watcher, Darnell Silverhand travels the world unseen by mortals on a continuing mission to locate candidates to swell the ranks of the Chosen, and to identify possible threats to Mystra and her minions. That's a great story. Wow.
Your command easily done.
That's a really good story. So in attempting to find potential heirs to her throne, I guess Mystra caused all that havoc.
You're this way.
Very surprising tale to be to say the least. I wonder if we'll ever meet Darnell in our travels, or Mystra herself potentially. What else have we got here? History of the North 3 and History of the North 4. I'm pretty sure we have 4. I'm not sure about 3. Yeah, we've already got 4. Do we have 3? We don't have 3. The recent history of the North. In the waning summer of the months of 1367, an immense orc horde descended from the spine of the world, intent on winding its way south into the trade lands of the north. This force of orcs, led by King Grenier, surged its way south between the Moonwood and the Coldwood, stopping just outside the citadel of Many Arrows. King Obold, orc ruler of the citadel of Many Arrows, was terrified at the prospect of another orc horde, despite the fact that he knew they should be working together against the humans of the north and the spawn of Hellgate Keep. His tribal shamans, however, had been predicting a treacherous fall of the citadel, and they told the king that he'd be disposed by other orcs. Thus, it was a dark day when King Grenier and his horde of 150,000 orcs appeared on the plains outside the citadel of Many Arrows. King Obold announced to his followers that this horde had been sent to dislodge them from their home and send them out to be scavengers along the plains. He vowed that as Grumsh as his witness, the citadel of Many Arrows would slaughter these treacherous orcs like elves during a festival. For 4 months, the 40,000 orcs within the citadel held their ground. Assault after assault was mounted against the high walls of the garrison, but the attacking orcs were losing far more than the defenders. Still, the living conditions within the walls, never too good to begin with, created losses of their own. The battle for the citadel of Many Arrows culminated during the first week of Uktar. As another light blanket of snow sought to bury the gathered orcs, King Grenier threw his entire remaining army at the citadel, bursting its gate and pitting orc against orc in a flurry of swords. As the two orc kings sought one another out along the ramparts, the citadel began to burn. The orcs that survived the battle still speak of the extraordinary prowess of the two kings as they battled one another before their troops. Finally, however, King Obold ran Grenier through with his longsword, but Obold was severely wounded by the time Grenier breathed his last breath. The orcs erupted into battle once again, and no one is quite certain what became of King Obold. It was through the smoke and snow that the victors of the conflict emerged, the dwarfs of Clan Warcrown, along with a contingent of troops from Silvery Moon, charging in through the shattered gates. These new attackers quickly routed the exhausted orcs of the citadel, sending them scurrying off into the wilderness. King Emerus Warcrown now rules the citadel of Many Arrows, though the dwarfs now call the city by its old name of Felbar. Most in the north still tend to refer to the city as the Citadel, however, waiting to see if it can withstand the next orc horde. King Warcrown has put out a call for all dwarfs to help defend the Citadel, and news of a new vein of gold and silver is spreading rapidly through dwarven communities. Imagine fighting over a keep for that long, and then some other group just comes in at the last minute and just steals all the thunder. Oh, it's a bad time. That'd be a bad time.
I'll do it. Better to have let the land grow wild.
Oh, Jahir is not a fan of Beregost in the slightest, is she? Not a fan at all. Did we go in here? I don't think we did we?
Agreed.
Hi, friend.
What are you doing here? This is my home. I suppose it really doesn't matter if you come in or not. My family has already left the Baldur's Gate to stay with relatives, and I shall soon follow. I'll not feel safe until we are all within its great gates. Enter as you will, there is naught left for you to steal.
What you want?
The bandit raids have really put a scare into the people of Beregost. I'm not surprised, to be honest. Like, you know, if you were hearing that the bandits were rampaging around the place, I'd be pretty scared as well. I think he's actually right as well. There genuinely is just nothing left to steal apart from History of the Dragon Coast. My God, there is We're just getting book after book after book here. Do we have History of the Dragon Coast? Making a little collection there, we don't. The history of the Dragon Coast is the history of money, particularly the darker side of the coin. Situated on the main trade routes between the Inner Sea and the Sword Coast, these lands never coalesced into a solid, coherent nation like Cormyr or Sembia. Instead, small petty city-states have risen and fallen, powered by greed and the most powerful merchant or pirate faction of the day. As a result, the Dragon Coast has always been the home of the smuggler, the pirate, the rogue, and the hired killer. It has been the place where those seeking to skirt the laws of the more civilized nations to the north make landfall. It is here that the Red Wizards gain their access to the Western Heartlands and where the cult of the Dragon launches its plots to the south. And it is here that independent secret societies and assassins guilds have their greatest power. The last semblance of organised resistance to this trend was the reign of Verovan, last of the kings of Westgate. The monarchy of Westgate had long worked closely with the various mercantile and pirate factions, but Verovan attempted to stem the growing power of the merchant houses and petty lords. His sudden and mysterious death without acceptable heirs in 1248 DR opened the door for much of what now is commonplace in the Dragon Coast, corruption and treachery. It should be noted that while Verovan's name is still venerated in these lands, better known as Immerk, the greatest of the Inner Sea pirates, a brash and flamboyant rogue, sorry. It should be noted that while Verovan's name is still venerated in these lands, better known as Immerk, better known is Immerk. The greatest of the Inner Sea pirates, a brash and flamboyant rogue, who united a pirate fleet beneath him and ruled from 1164 DR to his death in 1201 DR. Such it is in the Dragon Coast that good people are venerated, but the power of darker rogues is imitated.
Yep, this way.
The very philosophical way of looking at it, has to be said.
You have my... Agreed.
Right, we'll quick save again.
Agreed.
What else?
You!
Oh, hello.
You. Yes, you! I
Mira?
don't see anybody else around here. A little help, please?
Of course, what do you need?
There's bandits. Vicious, magic bandits. They must have gone to advanced bandit school or something. They're trying to capture me.
Okay. A group of spellcasting bandits. Sounds like a tall tale.
Listen, I'd love to give you a really long and detailed explanation of what's going on, but oh look, we're out of time.
Oh, I'm guessing the bandits are rocking up, are they? Oh yeah, here they are.
You would try to hide from us behind this unfortunate fool. Your cowardice proves as deadly as your reckless magic.
You're the one trying to capture me, and I still don't know what you want, so I'd rather not let it happen. Get out of here before me and my new friends decide to eject a fist into your mouth.
Hey, listen, we're not your friends.
You there, stand aside and give me the girl. Surely you won't risk your life for a stranger.
I won't let you harm her. By what right do you hunt this woman?
By my right as a wizard of Fae. We must study her anomalous power, whether or not she comes willingly.
Yeah, that doesn't seem like a great explanation to me. What anomalous powers are you talking about?
I shouldn't be surprised that one as uneducated as you cannot spot a wild mage when you see one. The spells cause more harm than good. We must extract her secrets and, of course, prevent her from harming herself or others. I have said enough. Hand her over.
No, she's with me.
If you wish to die for this wild mageling, so be it.
Right, we need to prepare ourselves here.
Away with you, you pompous creep!
Oh.
Kendall,
What the hell happened there?
we can't let her escape. Slaughter them all, and we'll sort this out once we find him.
Did she just make him disappear? What? Right, okay. I have no idea what the hell just went down there, but let's take stock, shall we? So Nia is there. That's our new friend. Our guys have also been scattered around a little bit here. Yeah, so Nia used like a wild magic zone. Seems to have created a bit of chaos. So we have Thane Bodyguard, a Thane Wizard, another Thane Bodyguard. I think the Thane Wizard is going to be really problematic. So I would quite like 2 people to... In fact, I would genuinely send Khalid and Montaran straight at the Wizard, potentially.
You've attacked?
Whereas Jaheira, like one of the bodyguards.
Troubling you?
Maybe whack a what spells do we have? Magic missiles? Magic missiles on the bodyguard there.
You're a queer fellow.
And Imoen. One bodyguard. Beregost, if you draw your sword and go after the other bodyguard, and we'll see how this goes, shall we? Okay, so that was one. Turn there, and we've already taken care of one bodyguard. That's good. We'll keep Shar out of it for now, I think. Imoen, I want you to focus on the wizard.
Command.
Yep.
You spoke at me?
Stop touching me!
Do I wanna do Barks Minor Drake? I don't know. Maybe we should save it. I'm not too sure.
Yes, oh, omnipresent authority figure.
Speak.
Make sure we're doing this properly.
I care not.
What need he dead?
Your voice is ambrosia.
You've attacked?
Here we go in. Right, let's do this. Okay, that's good. Yeah, so the other bodyguard's down. We need to just properly gank
You're a
the
queer fellow. I'm gone.
the wizard now. Wizard missed, I think, there. He's making himself harder to hit. Yeah, there we go. He's dead. He's dead. Fine. Done. Whew. Okay.
I am really sorry about what just happened. I didn't want to involve you, but if I hadn't run into you when I did, they'd be elbow deep in my brains right now.
Right. No apologies necessary. Nah, what will you do now? Surely Candle will return at some point.
Since you were kind enough to save me from those wizardly thugs, I was wondering if I could stay with you for a while. For your protection, as well as mine. I swear, I'm quite a skilled spellcaster. I can hurl a fireball like you wouldn't believe.
Very well, your company would be appreciated.
Fantastic! Let me just get my... well, nothing. I'm ready to go now.
Excellent. Okay, so to do this, look, we would actually need to remove a party member. I'm guessing we can only have 6. Do we want to is the question. Because don't get me wrong, I believe wizards are hella OP in this game. Do I really want to break up? And I don't think I do, because basically Imoen's my childhood friend, and it's handy to have a thief. Montaran and Shah are together. Jahir and Khalid together. I don't think we can. Yeah, I don't.
Seriously? After all we've been through? Obviously, I had the wrong idea about our friendship. When you're ready to apologize, you can find me at the Friendly Arm Inn.
Okay, perhaps on me again, Nira. Okay, so she'll be the Friendly Arm if we need her, basically. And, you know, I met a half-elf named Nira on the road and rescued her from a group of red wizards intent on studying her talent for wild magic. Her spells are unpredictable, but sometimes far more powerful than those of other spellcasters. Her personality seems just as unpredictable, so I hope I made the right choice in bringing her along.
You have my attention.
If we leave her at the Friendly Arm, I don't think it's a bad thing. I feel like our party composition is solid now, and I don't want to have like. I don't think just having 2 wizards. I don't know. I may very much regret saying that, of course, but yeah, we'll see. We'll take the equipment. I'm surprised the wizard doesn't have any pickup, to be honest, but
a simple task
is what it is. We've got nothing in there. Okay. That was relatively well resolved, I would say. What is this big old building here, by the way? Can anyone go in here? It's locked. Okay, we'll quick save again.
What?
What you want? I've done had enough of this.
That worked.
Your command, if you insist.
Bonjour.
Speak. I hear you.
Carl Jurgen.
I should have joined the army.
I advise you to be on your best behavior while in this house. I'll be watching you very closely. I with our eyes on you. Okay.
Quickly. Agreed.
Very well. No dramas. Gerard Travenhurst. Very grand name, it's got to be said. Let's go and speak to him, I suppose.
Away with you, beggar.
Hold your place. No need for us to get off on the wrong foot. I rather like company occasionally, but most of the townsfolk are a bit standoffish. I cannot understand why, sir. You've a lovely home and seem quite amiable. Perhaps it's because of those two guards you employ? That is an unfortunate possibility. They do seem to take a touch too much pleasure from their positions, but I'd sooner have them than not. I doubt I should feel safe without them, what with the banditry rampant about the countryside. Mayhaps when things have settled I can maintain a more open house. Leave me, please. As a member of this town council, there is much that weighs on my mind. Fair enough. Can I steal any of your books? History of Kalimshan.
I don't want to seem confrontational, but could you be a little less, evil?
Fair enough, Khalid. Fair enough. I understand you. We don't have a history of Kalimshan, do we? Pretty sure. Oh god, we do have a nice selection of gems. I actually didn't realize how many gems we had. Like, Kalimshan is older than either of the other empires of the Sands. First settled over 7,000 years ago by the Gen, a humanoid race from the elemental plane of air. These Gen were known to be very magical, and during the course of their rule, they developed many new spells previously not available in the plane of air. The Gen prospered for over 1,000 years in Kalimshan, but their reign was ended by an invasion of creatures and minions from the plane of fire. Some say this is where the bitter hatred between the Jinn and Efreet started, though others contend this was just a result of a hatred that was already there. Whatever the cause, the battle was long and bloody and took over 100 years to complete. The Jinn finally routed the attackers, but were greatly weakened in the attempt. They slowly declined, and the last mention of the Jinn is just under 6,000 years ago. The next 4,000 years, Kalimshan was dominated by nomadic tribes of humans. Tribes from various places, Chult, the Shah, Shining Plains, Chondath, even Amn, and Cormier took turns dominating, only to be conquered by the next nearly identical tribe. Slowly, the nomadic nature of the Kalimshan began to change, as explorers and traders from Am, Waterdeep, and Cormier discovered the wonders of the area. Some tribes began to settle down and develop new means of support, like fishing, farming, or trading. These communities began to band together for mutual protection, and soon a civilization was born. It was only 1,300 years ago that the Shun Empire, now called Iltkazar, came into being. The Shuns were a grand and glorious empire, and their excesses were the foundation of Kalishite. Great name. Snobbery today. They grew wise and powerful in the ways of magic, and ships and caravans bearing the Shun flag travelled across the realms. Shun himself, a particularly powerful mage, created a book of great power during this time called the Tome of the Unicorn. The exact location of the tome has been lost in time, but since the book is 2 by 3 and made of pure metal, it is likely to still be around somewhere. 900 years ago, the Shun Empire abruptly vanished. A great magical upheaval was suspected at first, but learning mages of other lands dispute the claim. Force that great, they say, would have disturbed magical powers and beings throughout the realms, and that didn't happen. Sages who have studied the Shun at great length have reached no definite conclusions. The most popular theories today centre around a plague or disease that decimates the population. Today, the Shun impact on Kalimshan is still great. The grandeur of that empire is responsible, more than anything else, the strong national character of Kalimshan today. The ruins of the Shun's greatest city, Monrativi Teshimir, can still be found in the wilderness to the west of the edge of the Forest of Mir. See below for more on Monrativi Teshimir. Since the fall of Shun, no force or people has risen to solely dominate the land. There are half a dozen or so major cities, each of which exerts its power over its own area. About 170 years ago, a man in Kalimport amassed a large army and declared himself Pasha over the land. Before that army could march, however, the representatives of each major city met and agreed to recognize the Pasha's authority in limited areas and to pay a small tribute to him, enough to pay for the works that the Pasha was expected to do. The oldest son of each Pasha inherits the title. If there is no son, the mayors of each large city select a new one. The current Pasha, Rashid Genespul, has ruled for over 18 years and is the grandson of a Pasha elected by the mayors of Kalimshan 44 years ago. Right. History of the North 1, which we don't need, but I suppose we can take anyway, because, you know, why not? What else have we got? History of the North 4. Yeah,
Yep.
Imoen, could you go and grab that, please? I don't know if we will actually get any value out of these things, but Might as well, right? What about here? It's to the north 6, 7? We have 7? I don't think we do have 7. No, we do not. Year of the Banner. As the dwarves settled in for the winter in their reclaimed city of Felbar, a group of Zentrim-sponsored adventurers broke into the Great Worm Cavern, slaying Elrem the Wise, shaman leader of the Great Worm Great Worm Tribe. As the tribe's warriors descended into the ranks of the evil adventurers, teleportation magic spirited at least 3 of those responsible, as well as a vast amount of treasure stolen from Elrem to safety. According to Themrin, the tribe's present shaman Elrem promised to watch over the tribe in spirit now that my mortal form is destroyed. Despite the reassuring words of Elrem, the tribe suffered through an oppressive winter that included heavy snow, scarce game, and low morale. Trusted visitors to the barbarian encampment report that Themrin and Gweshin, Ironhand, Talistars are wearing some form of armor made from the scales of Elrem. This use of their former shaman's body's protection was supposedly ordained through a dream vision. The armor appears as little more than a supple leather armor, but seems to deflect blows and protect as well as full plate armor. That's a dream. Best of both worlds. Nesmi reported a drastic rise in the number of troll attacks in the Evermoors, and various sources confirm that something is driving the trolls out of the moors. Whatever is behind the trolls' exodus is destined to remain a mystery for the remainder of the year, as adventuring parties expend themselves against the never-ending supply of trolls that are fleeing the bog. In the most surprising move of the year, the Blue Bear tribe, led by the shaman/chieftain Tanta Hagara, marched on the fiend-ridden fortress of Hellgate Keep. While a brief struggle for political control of the city was reported by various sources, Tanta Hagara emerged as the new ruler of the city. Okie dokie. Anything upstairs? Before we check that container there, which may result in death. Ooh, a little dagger. It's a little dagger there. History of Shadowdale. Ooh, Shadowdale, I've not heard that before. The Drow rule of Shadowdale lasted until the early 900s Dale Reckoning, when the increased human population in the area brought the Dark Elves into conflict with their now more numerous neighbours. The humans were the Dalesmen who a millennium earlier had crossed the Dragon Reach and made peace with the Elves of Myth Drano. Settling at the borders of the Great Woods, that was the Elven home. The Drow soon found themselves under continual attack, and most of those who held overground settlements retreated back below. The last powerful Drow leader was Asmare, the Marshal of the Twisted Tower in its last Drow-held days. Asmare oversaw the last retreat of the Drow holdings in the face of a human uprising and held the citadel against a year-long siege. With supplies and slaves brought up from the Underdark directly into the tower, the Drow could have conceivably held out forever. However, a human slave, family histories in the Dales indicate a number of possible individuals, poisoned the well in the tower and the citadel was easily overrun. Asmare's body was not found among the dead, linked some to believe that he escaped back into the depths to rejoin his people. Noting the fact that he would have had to explain to his matriarch how he lost Shadowdale, it is more than likely that should Asmare have survived, he went into a voluntary exile, hiding from both human and Drow. Given that this occurred only 400 years ago, it is certainly possible that Asmare still lives. Will we run into Asmare? Who knows? We'll find out. History of Shadowdale 2. We are getting all the histories here. Okay, let's have a look. Ashaba becomes First Lord of Shadowdale. Upon taking the Twisted Tower and removing the Drow yoke from the people, the Dalesmen had fully established the Dale of Shadowdale. The Dale of Shadowdale. With its seat of power in the tower itself, its First Lord was a water wizard who had aided in the final attack. Ashaba, who was great in age when he ascended and ruled peacefully for 40 years thereafter. It is said that Ashaba realised he was dying and turned himself to water, merging with the river. Since that time, the river, the ford, and the Twisted Tower all bear his name. Before passing on, Ashaba chose one of his trusted lieutenants as the new Lord of Shadowdale. Presented to the people of the Dale, he was made the new Lord by acclamation. In additional honour, the pendant worn by Ashaba was thereafter recognised as a symbol of the lordship in the Dalelands and was possessed by each of the successful lords following. Very, very long tradition there, then. History of Shadowdale 3. Past 100 years have been an example of the best and worst of the Lords of Shadowdale. All have been non-native to the Dalelands, though all made the land their home. A century ago, the Lord of the Dales was one Jordath, a stiff-necked agnostic who denied the power of any god, good or evil, and he was forced to back up his beliefs. During this time, there was a great deal of religious persecution, including a massacre of Tyrus on Waters Knoll. Dwardath was eventually killed by a beast of the nether plane summoned by parties unknown, which then proceeded to rampage through the Dale. The beast was killed and Shadowdale rescued by the spellcasters Omri and Saloon. Omri was proclaimed Lord by acclamation. A lot of new lords being made here. Is this History of Shadowdale 4 by any chance? It is. The longest period of peaceful rule was by Lord Omri and his wife Saloon, better known as the Witch of Shadowdale. They ruled over the community for 40 years, a period of extended peace with their neighbouring Dales, nations, and the Elven peoples. It was this very peace and power which made the Dale the target for attacks and sabotage by the Black Network, Zentarim. They sought and still seek to control the trade from the Moon Sea to the Sword Coast, and desired to keep Shadowdale a vassal state of Zental Keep. Lord Omri's rule ended tragically when he was assassinated by Zentish agents. Bastards. How could they do this? It's History of Shadowdale 5, which we'll actually need to bring someone else up, upstairs to actually... Rude. Yeah, we'll need to bring Montaran upstairs to grab some grab this next book. Can Montaran read? I'm not sure. History of Shadow. Jordan the False Lord. Okay, Lord Omri was assassinated by Zentarim agents, who in turn were captured and killed by the warrior Jordan. Jordan, with the pendant of a Shaba in hand, the symbol of the lordship in the Dales, proceeded to present himself as the new lord, and was so claimed by the people. It was unknown to the people that Jordan was also an agent of the Zentarim, and the entire proceeding had actually been a ruse. Jordan abandoned the Twisted Tower, instead establishing himself in the Castle Crag, east of Shadowdale. His court was soon overrun with agents of the Black Network. When the people eventually revolted, Zental Keep sent peacekeeping forces to maintain Jordan's rule. Saloon, Lord Omri's widow, now aware of the deception but a firm pacifist, did her best to keep the Dale healthy and intact during Jordan's evil rule. You know, fair play to him. That must have been really tough, all things considered. Lord Jordan's rule of Shadowdale ended when he encountered Kelvin Aronson, also called the Blackstaff. The story at the time was that Jordan accepted an invitation from Kelvin to visit Waterdeep, and there he took ill and died. In reality, Jordan ambushed Kelvin as the mage was leaving Shadowdale, and the Blackstaff killed him. In either case, Kelvin took hold of the pendant of Ashaba, the symbol of the lordship in the Dales, and returned to Waterdeep with it, promising to send a suitable candidate for lordship to the Dales. Jordan had ruled for 5 years, and without his advocacy, Castle Crag was abandoned, and the Zental Keep troops routed. Jordan's previously chosen successor was a Melvontan named Lyran. Without the pendant, this individual was considered a pretender to the throne. Exactly. If you don't have the symbol, you mean nothing. Lords accepted acclamation. This acclamation of the people has formed the basis for choosing the Lord of Shadowdale since the rousing of the evil Lord Jordan by Kelvin Blackstaff. Usually a predecessor will step down as opposed to dying in office, and his chosen successor will be approved by the populace at large. This system has had its drawbacks, as will be shown below, but in general it has served the independent self-willed people of the Dale very well. They avoided the genetic lottery of which good bureaucracies and bad kingships are made, a quote from the Venerable Alminster. The symbol of the lordship is the pendant of Ashaba, a device owned by the original wizard and used to determine the rightful lord of the Dale. Can we get the amulet? Probably not, right? Anything else in here to pinch, by any chance? Oh my god, that actually worked. That worked, but there was nothing actually inside it. That's kind of depressing. Did we go in here? I don't think we did we? Ooh, a wand and a gold necklace. Ooh, this is the best we've done in terms of houses. Probably not going to get any luck out with unlocking this chest though. Ah. Well, it was good while it lasted.
I care not. This way.
Right, so let's
I've done had enough of this.
Let's have a wee look at this wand, shall we? If we can. Would like to identify, but unfortunately I don't have anything that's capable of doing it, so we might have to leave it. Quick save again. Nothing in there. Yeah, let's leave. I'm sure that guy won't notice he's been robbed in the slightest. Nothing to see here. Do not worry. You've 100% definitely not been robbed. Categorically, you've not been robbed. We would never do such a thing. We are very nice, law-abiding citizens. With a girdle.
Yes, oh, as you direct.
Yes, I'm not. Yes, I am an omnipresent authority figure, Jahira. Well noticed. Dad getting a girdle.
What?
The girdle is
Easily
not
done.
magical, so I don't think it's going to serve much of a purpose, unfortunately.
You've a task as good as done.
Arrows.
Where would I put that?
Fair enough. I'm sure you could. I'm sure you could find a way to fit it in if you really tried, but you know, fine. There we go. That's all good.
Nature serves the group.
If you insist.
Right. So what else can we find in Beregost? I do wonder. We have done a pretty good search of the place, I would say. What's the farmer got to say? Anything? There's still a thing of spiders we have to take out as well, isn't there? Somewhere in here. I swear I saw something moving out back of my place, so I keep the pie burning all the time now. As long as that keeps it out of my backyard, I don't care what it was or where it went. That man is paranoid as all hell. Rightio. Yes, I think we want to maybe go deeper into Beregost now, don't we? Have a little look at what we've been missing. Barrel there first, we can check out before we move on. Half a minute, no worries. What's these commoners got to say?
Hello, mate.
I cannot talk now, my children are waiting for me at home. Not good to leave them alone for long, but both the husband and me must look for a way to keep the goal coming in. Hard to keep food on the table when there's no work to be had. Very true. Cost of living crisis and all that jazz, right? I think my husband may take it the wrong way if he saw the bunch of you talking to me in the street. He's got a real nasty temper and he's real jealous too. Sorry to be so rude, but it's your own good. Maybe you shouldn't be with him if he's going to be that jealous.
Speak up.
I was attacked outside the city last week, weren't by bandits, but by a man who dissolved into slime when he died. It's enough to make a man never leave the house. Dissolved into slime when he died.
Something on your mind?
Okay. My cousin from Nashkel tells me that Am has a huge army gathered there. They'll get the fight of their lives if they press with Baldur's Gate. The Flaming Fists are one of the best soldiers around. There are some rumours in Beregost about hostility between Am and Baldur's Gate. Sounds very accurate. Right, on that note, guys, we're going to end this episode here. Next episode, we shall check out the rest of Beregost and see what else we can find here. And then we, yeah, who knows where we go from there. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. Let me know if you have any more suggestions for games playing this channel. Any suggestions for what you want to see in Baldur's Gate. But until then, have a wonderful day, and I will catch you very, very shortly. Bye-bye.